Right now, winter storm bringing lots of ice and snow throughout the area. We've got coverage around our area, what's happening right now, and what we can expect later.
Plus, it's not just Wisconsin. Other states are dealing with what could be a historic winter storm.
And we now know who will be on the ballot in April for the spring election. A look at some of the numbers behind the race. Welcome to News 3 Now at 6. The major winter storm turning southern Wisconsin roads into an icy mess out there as freezing rain and sleet continue to hit the area throughout the day and also into tomorrow. Local officials are now warning people don't drive on those roads tonight. Meanwhile, if you head north, you will run into more snow than ice. Well, thanks for being with us. This winter storm already creating headaches for plow crews. The City of Madison Streets Division says the salt they put down would get diluted. It would not be as effective.
The storm is also causing multiple school districts, including the Madison School District, to stay closed through tomorrow. Right now, Dane County is declaring an emergency to ensure that emergency funds are available if needed. We have team coverage for you tonight covering this storm. Let's begin outside for a look at the current conditions right now with Julian Seawright. Julian?
Well, right now on our weather patio, we're starting to get that mix of not just sleets, but a little bit of some light snowfall. But we're going to see throughout the rest of this evening, the winds really starting to pick up and just how much of that sleet is going to really accumulate over the nighttime. Now, we're seeing that visibility still being an issue, but the roadways and even just our sidewalks, our main streets are going to continue to be very poor in terms of conditions throughout the rest of tonight. So if you have to go walk the dog or you need to just head from your car, it's going to be a slippery one. So make sure you're taking it slow and really using smaller strides. You don't want to be slipping on this kind of stuff. Now, taking a look around our sky cams, we can see just for the capital in itself, still dealing with a bit more of that sleet that's going to continue to fall throughout much of tonight. And even towards Platteville, we're starting to see much more of a blanketed layer, but underneath, any kind of snow that has started to accumulate is still going to be that ice layer that's underneath, which is why a lot of it is really dangerous in terms of traveling in those ice-covered roads, which is around Dane County and much of southern Wisconsin, is still one of the bigger issues that will lead into tonight as road crews still try to work their best to be able to clear them off and improve those conditions. With what we're seeing as of right now over the next few hours, we're not going to be expecting those to be improved so much or even going into our early Thursday morning. That's going to do for right now. Let's go ahead and toss it over to Gary Canalti, who has a better look.
Oh.
Actually, we'll take it, Julian. Thank you very much. Let's head to Rock County, where highway officials just announced within the last hour or so that they will only be keeping major routes like the interstate clear tonight.
And Catherine Merck is live in Janesville with more. Catherine?
Hello, Eric and Susan. I'm in downtown Janesville right now. And earlier, Susan, you described what's coming down here as sort of looking like Dippin' Dots. And that's exactly what I'm seeing. It's a little bit of rain, a little bit of sleet, and it's coming down in tiny little ice pellets. It's difficult for people to walk through and sometimes a pain for those plow drivers to clean up.
I walk every day, so it rains, snow, nice sun. Yeah, it wasn't great.
Kiana's daily walk to work wasn't as pleasant as she'd normally like it.
I think I'd rather have like nice, beautiful, fresh falling snow versus this.
This mixture of rain, snow, and ice isn't ideal for the crews cleaning it up either. When we talked with Janesville Public Works, it told us the city has different responses depending on what this mixture turns into.
Right now, it's so uncertain if it's going to be freezing rain, sleets, there'll be a little snow in there. The temperature is such that it might just be rain. It might turn out to be mostly rain, and that obviously would change our strategy a lot too.
It's their message to stay home and to not go too fast to avoid something just as unpleasant as this wintry mix.
Please don't end up on TikTok. Walk really slow and just do like a little shuffle so you don't fall in front of everybody.
We've been following the conditions here in Rock County all day. Make sure to stick with us the rest of the evening on our website at channel3000.com for the latest road conditions heading into the rest of the evening. Reporting live in Janesville, I'm Catherine Merck with News 3 Now.
All right, Catherine, thank you. So let's take a look at the current road conditions right now. According to the DOT's 511 map, the roads in southern Wisconsin are being described as ice-covered and slippery, no surprise. Meanwhile, as you head north into Dodge and Columbia counties, those roads become snow-covered. In Greene County, a tow ban is now in place. Vehicles that end up in the ditch on icy roads will not be pulled out until 9 tomorrow morning. People should limit driving from today until tomorrow morning. Drive slowly if you absolutely have to be on the roads. Officials say the tow ban can be adjusted as weather conditions warrant.
The winter storms are causing some turbulence for travelers. Today, more than 500 flights were canceled, with more delays and cancellations expected for tomorrow. So far, there have been 20 canceled flights in the last 24 hours at the Dane County Regional Airport. Now let's get a look at what we can expect later tonight and again into tomorrow. Here's Chief Meteorologist Gary Canalti.
Well, Susan, I think the next few hours will still be pretty difficult across much of southern Wisconsin. Notice the visibilities. North of Madison and Dane County, they're in the 3/4 mile to half-mile range. This is mainly snow, heavy snow, with a 1/4 mile visibility in Wautoma. Visibility's improved to the south, but that's mainly because it's just sleet and freezing rain. Some sleet here in Madison with a visibility of about 1.25 miles. Ice storm warnings remain in effect south of Dane County. Winter storm warnings from Dane County northward. This is through noon tomorrow, so all of southern Wisconsin is going to be affected by this. High-resolution radar right now shows maybe a little bit of rain down toward the Illinois state line as temperatures briefly get above freezing, but then that will change back to freezing rain and sleet. Mainly freezing rain and sleet from Madison southward. North of Madison, this is mainly snow, and there are some bands of heavier snow up around Camp Douglas over toward Adams Friendship, and maybe another one moving through the western portion of Dodge County west of Beaver Dam. But 6-hour future track radar shows as we head through the latter part of the evening, notice how conditions improve, at least as far as precipitation is concerned. We'll still see some freezing drizzle and some flurries, but at least the heavier precipitation will start to lift to the north, although some of this may wrap back around as we head toward tomorrow morning. Current temperatures, again, 34 Janesville, just above freezing, so they might have some rain down toward the Illinois state line, but everybody else seeing temperatures below freezing. 29 Madison. Farther north, temperatures mid-20s where the snow is more prevalent. Here across Dane County, 30 in Oregon, 29 Waunakee, 29 degrees in Sun Prairie. The other issue is the wind, as Julian mentioned. You can see wind gusts now in the 25 to 35 mile per hour range. That will continue through the evening and overnight hours. Look for the snow, sleet, freezing rain to continue with temperatures holding nearly steady around 30. Later on, I'll tell you when the snow and freezing rain will stop and how much more precipitation we can expect in just a few minutes.
All right, Gary, we'll check back in just a little bit. Thank you. Right now, Dane County officials say they have prepared for what's ahead, including potential power outages tonight. The combination of freezing rain, significant ice accumulation, and strong winds could mean that power lines or tree branches could be more susceptible. Dane County Executive Joe Parisi says he has been assured the utility companies will be able to respond quickly to any outages.
Emergency management has been in contact with the utilities and first responders all week, planning for anything that could occur. Again, we don't believe, we hope for the best, but we always want to be prepared for anything that's out there.
Parisi also says if the power does go out, stay safe in your home. Also, if you have any elderly or vulnerable neighbors, be sure to check in on them if you can. Stay up to date on the weather with our First Warn Forecast weather app. It has hourly forecasts, road conditions, and the latest radar. You can download it for free in your phone's app store. Just search WISC weather.
Wisconsin, of course, not the only state dealing with these storms. Most of the U.S. actually is under some kind of winter weather alert, from blizzard warnings, even in higher elevations in Southern California, to ice storm warnings in Michigan. Over in Minnesota, more than 2 feet of snow is possible in some areas around the Twin Cities, potentially the most in 30 years.
Minnesotans don't panic and we don't overreact, but we also understand that weather can be dangerous.
Meanwhile, President Biden urging all Americans under weather alerts to listen to the guidance of local officials and to take the storm seriously. After the break, an investigation is underway after a Wisconsin hiker is found dead out west.
Plus, why pediatricians say parents shouldn't be reaching for the medicine right away when your child has a fever. We'll tell you what you should do beforehand.
This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angels Senior Living Community is built on a foundation of authentic, local care, a framework for living well, windows to take in the beautiful future, and is crowned by the pride that one's home is one's castle. This is the house that Angels built. Attic Angel Community. Independent homes and 4 levels of assisted living, built with the help of angels.
As a veteran of our country's armed services, you have already made the ultimate sacrifice. Why should you have to continue to do that? Through no fault of your own, you may be experiencing hardships, such as the inability to pay rent, utilities, or receive other life-sustaining services. And once again, you're called upon by your family to serve and protect. We want you to know we are here to support you. The Veterans Rental Assistance Program was created by and for people living in Wisconsin, with benefit approvals being issued to veterans in just days, not months. It's not easy to ask for a hand up, but we are clear in our mission. No Wisconsin veteran should ever have to face homelessness or lose heat, power, or water again. 833-WISC-VRAP. That's 833-947-8727.
It's never been a better time for a fresh start with Feldco. Jumpstart your home's upgrade this month with 40% off Feldco windows, siding, doors, and roofing. Plus, no money down and no interest until 2024. Warmer weather's on its way. Get your home ready now and enjoy your windows all season long. Make your home feel new again with Feldco. But hurry, 40% off ends Tuesday. Call now.
For quality windows, siding, and doors, call 866 for Feldco.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
A Wisconsin man is dead after trying to hike to the Colorado River. He was found on a trail in Grand Canyon National Park on Friday. That's according to National Park Service officials who say they received a call for an unresponsive person on the Bright Angel Trail. The 56-year-old who was visiting from Pewaukee was pronounced dead when search and rescue crews arrived. No name has been released and the cause of death is under investigation.
The first sign of a fever, many parents quickly turn to fever-reducing medicines, but pediatricians are warning that may not be the best course of action. Instead, they say medication may delay diagnosis of what's causing that fever. Another concern with unnecessary usage is that there's a greater chance of giving too much medicine, especially if used along with cough and cold combination medication.
Every time if you reach for the bottle of medication, then we'd be less likely to know if your child is getting worse.
When there's a low-grade fever below 100.4, she says the best thing you can do is simply make sure your child does not get dehydrated. Still ahead, why a former state lawmaker is sentenced to nearly 3 years in prison.
Also, a look back at last night's primary election. We'll tell you what the results of the state Supreme Court race mean for both sides ahead of the April election.
Plus, Gary returns the latest on the winter storm, what we can expect the rest of the work week. Stay with us.
Trust him with a car.
Of course we can, Lindsay, with AAA auto insurance.
Wait, AAA has auto insurance?
We do home insurance, too.
Switch and save on AAA auto insurance and expect something more.
$11% off everything. Hurry in.
You can't buy happiness, but you can buy an RV at Wisconsin RV World, and that's pretty darn close. Find your happiness during their RV Super Sale this Thursday, Friday, and Saturday only. Save over $30,000 on this new Heartland fifth wheel. Get this Keystone Springdale for as low as $185 a month, or this Cruiser Radiance for only $240 a month. Plus, get a 1-year no-charge camping pass with every RV purchase.
Wisconsin RV World. If it doesn't say Wisconsin, it's just another RV dealer.
This President's Day, people are buzzing about my highly rated... Exactly, my highly rated bedrooms. Like my Tremont Queen bedroom set. Right, my romantic Scarlet collection. Go glam with Diva 2. And my Keystone Storage bunk bed for the kiddos. Find your forever bedroom at Bob's Discount Furniture. Is this what going viral is? See what all the buzz is about this President's Day weekend at Bob's.
Don't delay. The Brothers Maine President's Day sale is happening now. Shop local and save with tremendous deals on Whirlpool, KitchenAid, Maytag, and Amana appliances. We have the area's largest selection and the lowest prices guaranteed. Feel like family. Brothers Maine.
Surgenian's 93-year history means you pay $93 for installation no matter how many rooms you carpet. Get carpet and pad in your old carpet removed and recycled. Our competitors can't match it. Ask about 12-month financing. Local, sustainable Surgenians.
Can we really trust him with a car?
Of course we can, Lindsay, with AAA auto insurance.
Wait, AAA has auto insurance?
We do home insurance, too.
Switch and save on AAA auto insurance and expect something more.
You're watching News 3 Now at 6.
Welcome back. Last night's election saw record-setting turnout, which could show us where the race is headed this April and who will win control over the state Supreme Court.
And political reporter Will Keneally shows us where in Wisconsin that turnout made the biggest difference.
Last night's primary was interesting for a couple of different reasons. It was not a Republican versus a Democrat. You had 4 candidates running instead. And one candidate ran away with the top spot, liberal Janet Protasewicz, while the 2 conservative candidates fought over a highly contested second-place finish. And so on that side of the aisle, geography mattered here. Jennifer Doro did really well in southeastern Wisconsin in the Milwaukee suburbs. That's the hotbed of conservative politics in Wisconsin, while Dan Kelly did really well up outside in the state here. But if you add up the totals between the 2 liberal candidates and the 2 conservative candidates, liberals ended up winning by a combined 54% to 46%. We asked Kelly last night if he's worried that means that liberals have the momentum heading into the April general election.
No, not at all. So this is one of the reasons why we have a general election campaign.
He says turnout may look very different between last night's primary and April.
I think what we'll find on April 4th is that the vast majority of our fellow Wisconsinites care deeply about their Constitution and the liberties that it protects. And they'll come out, and I believe that they'll support our campaign and we'll be victorious on April 4th.
Now, if you look at this map, it's a lot bluer than the map that we saw in the fall elections with both governor and U.S. Senate on the ballot. We see large turnout here in both Milwaukee and Dane counties, and that could be a lot of different reasons. The geography here, the candidates themselves. We asked Janet Protasewicz whether she thought that her stance on abortion might have helped drive some of that Democratic turnout.
I think there are so many issues that people care about. Certainly, I think the abortion issue had something to do with it, and we've been very clear about what my personal values are.
Protasewicz and the Liberals saw huge turnout in places like Dane County. And if you look at the turnout overall in the state, this election defied expectations. The previous record was set in 2020, with roughly 700,000 people voting. Last night, though, 960,000 people voted, a number that is expected to climb for the April election. Will Keneally, News 3 Now.
And both Kelly and Protasewicz will face off in the April general election. The winner of the open seat will determine the balance of who controls the state Supreme Court.
A former state lawmaker has been sentenced to 33 months in prison after pleading guilty to failing to pay nearly $200,000 in employment taxes. Former Democratic State Senator Kevin Shabilsky pleaded guilty last year to willfully not paying federal employment taxes for 2 companies linked to an electronics equipment recycling operation that he ran about 10 years ago. In exchange for Shabilsky's guilty plea, the U.S. Attorney's Office agreed to dismiss all other charges on which a grand jury indicted him in September of 2020.
Well, let's check back in with Gary now. This weather causing plenty of issues on our roads, Gary.
Yeah, we had a report of an accident northbound on I-39, 90, 94 in Columbia County. That was the live view from the traffic camera. It's near Highway 60. For a while, the northbound lanes were closed. It looks like they may have opened up, but there still are going to be delays heading northbound on I-39, 90, 94, approaching Highway 60. Here in Dane County, the Beltline in pretty good shape, although it is moving slowly because of the road conditions, but traffic for the most part has been pretty light. We're also seeing some delays northbound on I-39, 90 and then I-39, 90, 94 heading up into Columbia County. So keep that in mind if you're going to be traveling out this evening. We still have our first warn weather alert days in the forecast through tomorrow during the day. We actually put these in Saturday morning. That shows you how far in advance we could see this storm developing. But the greatest impacts will be through tomorrow morning. Heavy snow north of Wisconsin Dells tonight. Snow, sleet, freezing rain elsewhere. So all of southern Wisconsin is going to be affected by this. And you can see that on high-resolution Doppler radar. Maybe a little bit of rain down toward the Illinois state line where temperatures might be just above freezing. Elsewhere, sleet, freezing rain from Madison and Dane County southward to the north. A couple of bands of heavier snow, especially up from La Crosse to Toma over toward Linden Station. And maybe another heavier band of snow lifting up through Dodge County right now. 6-hour future track radar does show a bit of a break, at least for a time later this evening into the early overnight hours. We'll have to see if the back part of this storm kind of wraps around and brings another round of at least some light precipitation into tomorrow morning. Future track showing the precipitation tonight. Again, that break as we head into the hours just before midnight. This is midnight, the snow lifting to the north, but some mixed precipitation, some sleet, freezing rain, and snow, but also some areas where we might just see some freezing drizzle or flurries. As we head into 6 a.m. tomorrow morning, maybe another little patch of light snow, maybe mix a little sleet or freezing rain with temperatures just below freezing in most areas. But as we head through the morning hours, that last batch comes on through, and notice as we head into the afternoon and evening, things start to wind down. Additional snowfall, this is through tomorrow during the day, maybe another 2 to 3, 4 inches up in northern portions of Juneau and Adams counties, probably less than an inch north of Dane County, south of Dane County. It's mainly sleet that will be accumulating. And as far as ice accumulations, might see up to an additional 1/10 of an inch of precipitation in the form of freezing rain down toward the Illinois state line. When all is said and done, we're still probably looking at around a foot of snow, northern Juneau and Adams counties, 9 to 12 inches, say up toward Mauston and Friendship, about 6 to 9 inches as you head around the Dells, 3 to 6 inches through Columbia, Dodge, Sauk counties, and then Dane County, northern Dane County might see a couple of inches of snow. South of Madison, probably just looking at some sleet and freezing rain. Ice storm warnings in effect through noon tomorrow for areas south of Dane County. Winter storm warnings from Dane County northward. Look for a low of 28 tonight. Again, that wintry mix of precipitation continuing, but tomorrow it starts to wind down during the morning and maybe comes to an end in the afternoon. High temperature around 32 degrees as we look at our first warned 7 to 10 day forecast. Colder on Friday, high 18, so any ice that's around won't melt very easily, even with salt on the roads, but we'll be back in the mid-30s for the weekend. See a mix of precipitation Sunday night, but changing to rain pretty quickly on Monday. A little colder Tuesday, a mix of rain and snow showers on Wednesday afternoon, a few flurries on Thursday, and then temperatures up around 40 by the end of next week.
And coming up in sports, we're live at the Kohl Center for round 2 between Iowa and Wisconsin. Why the Badgers have to have this game. That's next on News 3 Now.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
At Lawton Cates, your life counts is more than just a slogan. It's connecting you with top medical specialists after a serious injury. It's holding the insurance company responsible for your lost wages and your hospital bills. It's a guarantee that we'll be with you every step of the way and won't accept anything less than the maximum payment you deserve. We'll speak with you for free, and there's no fee until we get results for you. Your life counts. Lawton Cates. Call us today.
To everyone who believes in tradition, come enjoy a few of ours from Wisconsin.
People in Wisconsin love a good fish fry.
Really love. And we love sharing it with guests everywhere.
At Culver's, we still batter our North Atlantic cod by hand to order.
And we cook it to a crispy, golden perfection just for you.
For you.
For you. So it's crispy outside, flaky inside. Let us take care of you.
With some homegrown traditions we were raised on.
From Wisconsin with love.
Welcome to Delicious.
Don't miss your chance to see The Lion King, one of the most awe-inspiring productions ever brought to life on stage.
Coming to Overture Center May 11th through 28th. Tickets on sale now at overture.org.
This is how it feels to do more with less asthma, thanks to Dupixent. Dupixent is not for sudden breathing problems. It's an add-on treatment for specific types of moderate to severe asthma and can help improve lung function for better breathing in as little as 2 weeks. Dupixent helps prevent asthma attacks and can even reduce or eliminate oral steroids. Imagine that. Dupixent can cause allergic reactions that can be severe. Get help right away if you have rash, chest pain, worsening shortness of breath, tingling, or numbness in your limbs. Tell your doctor about new or worsening joint aches and pain or a parasitic infection. Don't change or stop asthma medicines, including steroids, without talking to your doctor. Who knows what you can do when you do more with less asthma? Ask your asthma specialist about Dupixent.
Tomorrow, the winter storm will continue to trigger another alert day. I'll have a first look at your snow and ice conditions.
And we're on the live drive to help you navigate those area roadways.
We're taking action to keep your family safe tomorrow from 4:30 to 7. If you're sick of hearing this is a must-win game for Wisconsin, you're not alone. After dropping 9 of their last 13 games, the Badgers sit 10th in the conference standings and are fighting for their lives to not play in that first game on the first day of the Big Ten tournament. So with 4 regular season games remaining, every win counts. So 10-minute scoring droughts and bad defensive possessions cannot continue to happen if this team wants to finish strong.
Our margin for error is slim, so you have to find every advantage you can to take advantage of a situation. And when things don't go well, you have to learn from it and quickly flush it.
I mean, we're a few possessions away from being 3 more wins, so we just got to stick to it. We got to be able to finish these games out coming down here, these last 4. We got to focus on this one against Iowa and get the job done there first.
The first meeting between these two, the Badgers won in overtime back on December 11th. It was their first win in Iowa City since 2018. Now, the Hawkeyes were without their best player, Chris Murray, who leads the team in scoring and rebounding. He'll be playing tonight, and the big thing for Wisconsin, as in all of their games, they need to defend because Iowa leads the Big Ten in points per game.
They're talented. I mean, we saw that back in December. You know, and Chris Murray was hurt at that time. But I've been impressed, obviously, with Chris as a really talented player, but just watching over the last 2 days, Tony Perkins has really improved.
Well, obviously, I think they're one of the fastest teams in the Big Ten, so they're going to be running up and down, so we got to limit that. And then, yeah, limit some of those guys. Like I said, Chris, Rebracha, big guy.
So Iowa enters scoring 80 points per game. The Badgers give up just 63 points per game. So if Wisconsin plays well on defense, we could be seeing a frantrum from Fran McCaffrey, and everything will be all right in Madison. Back to you guys.
A whiteout indoors down there. Be safe if you're traveling down to the Kohl Center.
Yeah, take a look at the live view from the Edgewater Skycam. Visibility is dropping because of sleet and snow. You can see visibilities from Madison northward 1.5 miles or less. Some areas down to about a half mile and moderate snow. But maybe a break later on this evening coming in from the southwest. We'll have to see if that comes to fruition. But right now, freezing rain south of Madison.
All right, Gary, thanks. Thanks for joining us for News 3 Now at 6.
Have a good night, everybody. Hope to see you back here tonight at 10.